Welcome to another edition of ZARR'S Spotlight of the Month.
Welcome to ZARR'S Spotlight of the Month TV show. Who will be this month's Spotlight entertainer? Sit back, enjoy, and tell a friend to watch ZARR'S Spotlight of the Month TV show.
I'm here today with some of the DMV's elite top filmmakers in the industry. Here today with Mr., and I probably messed his name up a little bit.
Shuaib.
Oh, see you
Shuaib Mitchell.
Welcome to the show, sir. I know you are one of the, I want to call you one of the pioneers in the industry. I know you've been here for a long time. I have much respect for you.
Thank you so much.
And I say that also because you can do it. You made it possible for other folks like myself to know that we can do it. So, and I look at that, folks need to respect that. Tell us a little bit about how you got into the business, what you're currently working on.
Well, first and foremost, it's an honor to be here because I've really been hearing about some of the things you've been doing, and I want to say we're proud of you as well, man. Continue to pursue your dreams.
Trying to be like you, brother.
You'll be short with it. I'm a native Washingtonian.
Okay.
Studied film and television production at Howard University. I'm a proud graduate of Howard, HU as they say. Studied under an esteemed faculty that included Haile Garima, the internationally renowned filmmaker, and that's really where I received the bug, if you will, that many of you have now acquired at Howard. I've been blessed to produce and direct a number of feature-length films and documentaries, notably Straight Up Go-Go, which is a documentary on the history and the culture of Washington, D.C.'s go-go music scene. That film aired on PBS television and was screened nationally, internationally, distributed by ATA Trading Corporation. I tell a little joke about that film is because that film was released in '92, and I looked in the mailbox the other day, still haven't found my check yet. So that's some of the things we'll talk about later, some of the downfalls. Yeah, independent film. Later produced a feature-length film by the name of Two Save. That little film did surprisingly well on the film festival circuit, won numerous awards, including the Dove Family Approved Seal. And due to that success, it was acquired by Maverick Entertainment for worldwide release, and it's the first film I actually saw of mine in Blockbuster and Walmart and Target, and, among the shelves of Tyler Perry and.
Ain't that a great feeling? Isn't that a great feeling?
Oh, it's a great feeling, man, to be able to see your film and internationally and around. So that feature took us to the next feature film in which we did some work with Nocturnal Agony. And,
young actor.
Yeah, you were a little younger than we all were, but that film stars Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs of Cooley High's fame and the Jacksons, along with Renee Watson. She's more known as the mother of Fresh Prince and Bel-Air from Philadelphia. And she's done numerous, over 100 films in her career. Gospel recording star Hezekiah Walker and Raven Larry Moore Kelly from A Time to Kill. And so that film is actually it was also acquired by Maverick, and it's the highest rated film one of the highest rated film on Amazon Prime right now. You can find that film all over the country. I'm currently working on a documentary film entitled The Game That Changed College Basketball. It's a film on the NCAA tournament, how it came to be, really centered around the great 1974 ACC championship game between NC State and Maryland. That film, CBS Sports Network has agreed to air. It may air there. We may, negotiate some other things with a couple other networks and streaming companies, but that will be released later this year. And I just acquired a reality TV show that we are really excited about. That we probably will be in production on that very soon. So anyway, that's me in a nutshell.
You don't give all your nuggets away, man, because I want to have you come back and do it.
Please, I'll be honored. I'll be honored.
Next superstar we have, Mr. Marque Dixon.
Yes. My name is Marque Dixon. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California. I got into acting due to my grandmother because she was an actress. She did Daughters of the Dust. A lot of major Hollywood films in LA. And then I was trained in acting ever since I was 5, and Oscar Mayer commercials and everything since I was a kid, all the way up. I actually got into filmmaking because I was actually doing a lot of different TV episodes on TV One, BET, you know, For My Man, a lot of those reenactment TV shows to jump back into it. So I decided to talk to a lot of my actor buddies to be like, you know what, why don't we start doing SAG union projects in the DMV? So from that, because a lot of people, they try to get to the next level as an actor or an entertainer, but if you don't know the actual ins and outs of the business, it's kind of difficult to get there.
That's a key point right there, because a lot of folks, they only understand the creative part. The creative part. They don't understand all that's involved. And mentioning the SAG, the union projects, some folks go into it because they want to go to the next step. Some people don't because they're not going to have enough work. But if you're here and you're creating that opportunity for them, it even makes it feel better. So so from that I jumped into filmmaking, and I'm working on my master's degree now in business. So I took that and applied that into filmmaking and started doing SAG union projects. First one I did was Gangsters Part 1. That's now on Amazon Prime, streaming a lot. I mean, I can't believe the reception I'm getting from the UK, the United States, all over from that project. It is like unbelievable. Then I followed that up with another union project, which was King's Son, with one of my other good director buddies, CF Commodore Independent Film Works, and they're doing major stuff on their end with the new project Uproar that they're doing. So then after I helped co-direct King's Son, and that's also going to be coming to major networks, then I decided to do a reality TV show concept on an actual, John Pilata, outstanding, great guy. He's been film teaching for a while. So I actually struck a deal with Netflix or VH1, whoever actually gets it up in the air once I finish the episodes and they review it, to see, where we want to go. Because see, that's the thing about being a filmmaker. A lot of times it's not about what you film, it's what can you do with it after you film the product. A little comment on that. So it also depends on your motivation for
motivation.
Doing it.
Yes, it does.
Because some folks they retire and they just enjoy making films, documentaries. They're not trying to put it into Hollywood, but then some of us are.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out, and that was going to be one of my questions. You have to figure out where you're trying to go with it. What's important for you, and are you doing it all you? Okay, I don't want to go into.
But
keep going.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it, as a filmmaker, I consider every filmmaker exactly the same. Nobody, because like what you touched based on, it's about what you want to do with the film. Some people just want to do film just for the community. Some people want to do film to go international. Some people want to do films just as a passion that they had. But you got to have that motivation and drive to do it. And then you got to actually educate and understand the craft. You know what I'm saying? From acting or filmmaking. If you don't understand your craft, you won't grow as an actor or filmmaker. So I tried to train myself to understand the business aspects of being a filmmaker. So even with the reality TV show, then I'm gonna follow up with another union SAG project coming later on this year. That I got a major distribution deal. I can't really talk too much about that, but that's also coming to major networks. So yeah, I got a lot of good stuff coming, man. A lot of good stuff coming. I'm blessed. I'm just blessed. I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be with a lot of these great, stars, and you know what I'm saying. I watch a lot of you. You know what I'm saying, and I really commend everybody here. And then a lot of my good director buddies that will probably watch, and it's just an inspiration to see the impact that the DMV has changed the culture. And for this man sitting beside us, from one of the pioneers to actually trigger that for a lot of more people to say, you know what, now I want to get into film, and now I want to get into stuff like that.
Because a lot of folks, just like with acting or anything you do, they look at their current situation, that may be their age, their where they live, whatever their reason is. They look at that and they say, okay, that's great for them, but I can never do that. Right? And it's just because they're only looking at the circumstances. They're looking at the here and now. They haven't reached out there and had an example, of someone who's right next to them that has went out and done that. So you've been and done it, and you're an example for them. And I look at, you know, folks recognize y'all. They know you for what you do. So I look at everybody as, I consider y'all celebrities. You know, you're a celebrity, you don't have to look at yourself like that, but other people will. As far as, there was something you touched on, all right, so we're a little seasoned, we forget stuff. You gotta get it at the moment.
Yeah.
But, okay, I know what it was. Preparation, transition. All right, so a lot of actors, they're working for projects, right? Maybe 2 or 3, maybe 3, maybe 4. And they say, now I'm ready to direct. They ain't in no homework.
It's a different ball game. It's a different
You
ball.
gotta do your homework,
Yep.
right? All right, so enough of that for me. Next superstar we have is,
Adiyb
all right, so
Muhammad.
which title am I gonna get this young man?
We're gonna get just a couple
All
minutes.
right, we got sing. Oh yeah, we really
Yeah, we're gonna
tight.
leave that alone.
All right, so
we
anyhow,
talk about film
Black
right
Carpet,
here.
Black Carpet Productions. Mr. Adiyb Muhammad.
I've been blessed to work with some phenomenal, inspirational people like John Pallotta, like Marque Dixon, like Anthony Commodore, and I've been blessed to know this brother over 40 plus years.
Yeah.
And the thing for me in making the transition from being an actor to
Brother, you ain't
becoming
been
a
blessed to work with me.
you in there, Kazar. Come on, man. I was getting ready to mention you, but you done messed that up. I was blessed to work with you as well on a couple of your projects. And the thing for me, making the transition to filmmaking, the way I applied the focus and determination to become a good actor was from identifying mentors, of course being in the game, but identifying mentors that could teach me the technical aspects of applying the craft. I take that same focus and determination to the filmmaking part.
Great.
You know, like, of course I took cinematography with good people. I don't work with people that they gave, like Commodore and Mitch Credo, for instance, they were the two that gave me my first opportunity to direct, right? And I got motivated by that, and then I went on and did the filmmaking course with Dov Simmons from the Hollywood Film Institute, which taught me a great deal, not only the fact I'm a member of Fairfax Public Access Television as well, but the thing was, from a filmmaking standpoint, what I loved about what Marquise explained. Now, I know Shuaib. Shuaib gave me a great deal of insight as to his experience and how the game was when he was coming up in the 80s and the 90s. We had very in-depth conversations about that. Marque has been an inspiration to me from the standpoint of what he's doing now with understanding how to take film in this day and time to the various distribution platforms. I take the time out to study these things to see how they work. I'm a person that, like right now, I'm working with what they call the MMA, which is the Movie Making Academy, and 3 of the top successful filmmakers in this country, Jeff Hayes, and them guys. And I'm always a student.
Okay.
I completed one film, which was my very first film, called A Moment in Space, which was a domestic violence piece. Okay. We won 1 award in the film festivals, but the things I learned during the time that I'm studying, and from the people I learned it from, my film now, which is a short film called The Devil's Exclusive, which is going into becoming a feature film. Okay. Right? We got some great things happening with that. You'll hear more about that real quick. Okay. But the bottom line is, to me, filmmaking is an opportunity for me to engage in projects that tell a story, that make people feel, but also enlighten people in certain ways. For me, it's not just about entertainment, it's edutainment.
Yeah.
So that's the way I'm at.
All right, so I'm going to throw something else out there. I think sometimes we forget. We filmmakers, we get into projects that we like.
Yeah.
We definitely like these projects, and it's important to us, so we want to communicate it. But we also got to consider what the audience wants.
Well, that should be the first consideration.
But a lot of times folks don't. You know, because you get so much so wrapped into just trying to get all the technical aspects of what you're doing. There's a place for that, and sometimes, especially if we don't write on scripts, so sometimes we receive stuff, or we just directed it from somebody else's project, or someone who hired us to do that. But when we start writing our own stuff, you know, figure out what's important, how is it going to impact somebody. When I produce films, I'm trying to find out what can I put out there that's going to change somebody's life.
Exactly.
Right? Right, so I'm gonna get off of that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's very true because it depends on the impact of what audience you're trying to reach. It's very true.
If you don't consider that, why are you doing it? Is it just so you can enjoy your own film? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I tell you what, one of the biggest things I enjoy the most when I premiere a film somewhere, I don't want to sit down. It drives me crazy when I see things that I don't like in my film, but I like to watch the audience. I want to see if they receive. I had a lady in one of the first films. She ran out crying her head off, and I felt so bad for her, but I was like, yes, because it was a point. It was she touched on, I touched on something that I wanted to receive that reaction, because people were able to identify with it. I feel bad for her, but all right. Next up, I'm gonna call this guy the Grand Master, Mr. June Dagiuso. This guy has been around. He's been a good buddy of mine. In our industry, you can probably only count on your fingers a handful of folks that you can reach out to, and they're gonna be there. Because a lot of people speak it, but they don't show up. This brother right here shows up, Mr. June Dagiuso. See how I said that? I messed his name up. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks, Kizar. First of all, thank you and congratulations for your, first show, and so happy to be here. Some people call me Master June Dagiuso, but it's been a while. I'm a 4th-degree black belt in Taekwondo, 1st-degree black belt in Shotokan. I taught for over a decade here in D.C., Maryland, Virginia area.
That's right.
I competed in a national circuit under North American Sports Karate Association. I started filmmaking just in 2006. But I retired teaching martial arts in 2000. That was 19 years ago. And recently also retired from working from a law firm after 38 years working and commuting in Washington, D.C. It's been a blessing for me. Started, and my wife even doesn't know where it comes from because I'm not going to say my age, but I'm right there. I just recently retired from 2 full-time job. Now I'm enjoying my retirement, but now I got involved with so many projects since 2006, back to back. You can see my IMDb page and what I've done and everything. I write, produce, direct, and act in independent films. And as you know, I also run and manage World Music and Independent Film Festival, now currently running for 11 years.
That's awesome.
Yes, and this year is a blessing because I was hired by 4 producers that they want me to write the entire screenplay for them, and also hired me as a director and the cinematographer. And I know the budget is not there, so I said, you know what? We can save a lot of money if we do one package because I can pretty much do everything in terms of the aspect in the production. So which is good because now I'm controlling the aspect of everything from in front of the camera and behind the camera. I'm also the one going to be editing it. So pretty much controlling the whole production, which is good because I work with so many actors in the DC, Maryland, Virginia, over 200 actors in my circuit. They kind of circulate, and Kitty is one of my buddy who's been with me for a while too, and Kazar also. You've been in 2 of my project way back.
Yeah, I die in all of them. They kill me all so fast. But it's okay.
Yeah. Again, this year, 4 feature film project, and I have 2 short films I'm working on. American Gunslinger is a Western film. I'm just going to be an actor and an associate producer. We're going to be filming in Staten Island this summer. This other project called Shattered Dream of Isa 2. It's a drama, and the whole dialogue is all in French with English subtitles. So I have a couple more. In fact, I'm going there next week to do more scenes. I probably had 3 more trips to go to Manhattan and Brooklyn to finish all the production. Latawish Nikita 2, which I think both of you are in this project. So I probably about 1 more day of filming. We finished filming in Western Caribbean last year. And then the latest one I'm working on is Bring Me the Head of Jade Brooks. It's an action film too. And it's a lot more. Right now we're halfway done, and the 2 short film I can hold it up till later. I have until end of July to finish all this production. So yeah.
Cool. All right. Next gentleman here, this is my co-host,
Yes.
Mr. Award-winning filmmaker, actor, transitioning into a producer,
Okay.
filmmaker.
Okay.
He's training. He's doing what we're talking about.
Okay.
To that
Yes.
club.
Welcome to the club.
Well, thank you.
All right.
I've been
He's
doing my
getting his feet
research.
wet.
Yeah.
And at this point, all right, so we have like 8 more minutes.
Wow.
It goes by quickly, and we're gonna have a part 2.
That's cool.
Hey, it
All right?
works.
So, but Keith, I want you to take over a couple of questions real quick, and then we're gonna close it up.
Okay, sounds good. You said a couple of questions? 'Cause-
Just a couple, because
Okay.
by the time we answer them, we're not.
well, you know what? I think the most for the group, for people watching us, people want to know, what do you feel is the most valuable advice you would give to an aspiring acting talent?
Let me just mention something about that. The reason, so in a previous episode, I asked the actors, what do you want the producers to know, the filmmakers to know?
Yeah.
This is where the question comes.
Right.
So
So
this
that's
is
a
our
connection.
So as a filmmaker perspective, what we want the actors to know?
What one thing that ticked you off over
It's
early
patience. It's patience because a lot of actors, they want you to just be like, well, when are we filming? When are we doing this? When are we doing that?
Where's my footage?
You know, like what's going on? Why we ain't filming? And they don't understand what filmmakers go through to get a budget, to assemble a team, to get locations, to actually prep and plan and get everybody organized.
You mean it's more to just turn the camera on?
It's way more than turning just on the camera. And then the thing about it is, just having the money to just pull it off. Because a lot of times you might need extra money to feed people, to pay extra higher paid
Oh,
talent.
you're gonna feed them.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna tell you.
Yeah. And everybody wants an incentive, so I say patience. Patience with your filmmaker because it's a lot more than just flipping on that camera.
Well, I would add to that, patience is important, but I think Adiyb touched on this earlier. One thing I admire about Adiyb is his appreciation for the craft and his willingness to study. What I have always worked with is professional actors. You need to study your craft. This is not easy. If it were easy, everyone would be a millionaire. Everyone would be a Hollywood star. There's a reason why when I really, this hit home with me with the feature film Nocturnal Agony. When I was able to work with professionals who had been in Hollywood for 30 to 40 years, and even the professional actors who I had worked with in the local scene, New York, Washington, D.C., actors who were very talented. But even it was a slight difference in Lawrence Hilton Jacobs and someone else who had worked with locally, even though they were Helen Hayes Award-winning actress. It's amazing the difference in terms of study. You need to respect the craft. Otherwise, you're wasting time and you're an amateur. This is a profession, as Mark said. When you're talking about resources, whether it be stage or whether it be feature film or reality television, etc., this is for profit. There has to be finance involved, whether I'm just paying the crew or whether I'm not, I'm actually looking to release this internationally. There's still money involved. In that case, anytime there's receipt of commerce, it's professional.
So they don't see that.
They need to see that.
And they should, but they don't see it because, and I can tell you why they don't see it. Because it's, okay, well, cool. Let me post this little pic here. Next project. Where's my footage?
Yeah, and then I'll even add that to back him up. Studying the craft is very important because, and I'm gonna say this to the young filmmakers that are brand new. Like me, I had to work my way up before I started working with a lot of professional actors and entertainers. You know what I'm saying? Like I work with nothing but A-listers. I may have a Mario Hardwick about to come in on my next project. I work with Mark Jeffries. So I've worked with some big people, but I say for the first time filmmakers is trying to get talent. You have to pick your talent that does have professionalism. And you have to understand, you can't just bring anybody in your projects, but you have to make them understand. You have to study your craft and understand what you're getting into, because if you don't, then it'll just be, you know, problems.
You gotta be hungry.
You got to be hungry
You gotta
for
be
it.
hungry.
You got to
Well,
be hungry. But see,
for a snack.
but then that touches on patience too. You got to be hungry and patience, because like even when I was an actor, you know, sometimes you be in the holding cell when you first starting out as an actor, as a background, 14 hours. And then hold on, you come on camera for like 5 minutes.
And like I like to piggyback on both of their
Real quick, brother.
comments, is because from an acting standpoint, and particularly being an actor, and being an actor that wants to be the best at his craft, then as when I made the transition to filmmaking, I can articulate to an actor the importance of being prepared when you come to my set.
Yeah.
Because if I send you the script, even if I send you the script last night, what determines for me your professionalism is how prepared you are when you step on set.
That is so true.
All right, so
I agree.
we got like 3 more minutes left. Yeah, it went about
Good stuff.
I didn't get into a lot of the questions, but we really spoke about a lot of the answers that I was looking for.
Yeah.
Because, you know, this was about educating, and I think we've done that. I only want one person, real brief, because I'm gonna run out of time. One thing you can offer as a piece of advice for someone who wants to transition from actor to filmmaker. Anybody?
I tell you, I'm gonna be quick so that the other brothers can speak. Live your dreams.
Exactly.
Right to the
Don't be
point.
afraid.
I'd say enjoy the process. Be happy for everything what you do. I do it for a hobby, and a lot of people doing for professional. But just be prepared on what's really going on in terms of the whole thing, because you have to be happy what you're doing. Nothing else matters.
I'd like to say this, and this only, is that enjoy the process, understand the process, and know that your success is not determined by the money, it's determined by the passion you feel and the love you feel for what you're doing.
I agree. Keith?
No.
No, bro. You contributed too. Brother, you transitioned. So
I'm transitioning, so
okay, that's fine. That's fine. Well, gentlemen, real quick, how can we find you on social media?
Well, my social media sites I don't even know by heart. I'll be honest with you. So, but you can reach me at www.nubia, Nubia, filmworks with an S.com.
You can reach me at Facebook at Marque Dixon. You can reach me at www.DreamBlock Entertainment. You can reach me on Instagram at DreamBlockENT.
Adiyb Muhammad on Facebook, Adiyb the One on Instagram, and at Adiyb M on Twitter.
June Dagiuso, I'm in Facebook, or you can Google me. I am also in IMDb. I have an IMDb page, so you can pretty much find everything about me in social medias.
All right. So I've tried to make this enjoyable. So I joke around a little bit, but I'm really serious about all of it. I appreciate everything you all have done. I want you all to come back, whether it be one-on-one. I think we need another audition for the Filmmakers. Let's see here. I think I just a lot of knowledge, and we don't have enough time for it. So we're gonna have to do it again. That's gonna do it for KZARR'S Spotlight of the Month. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, and you just got us started, because I see, remember, we about to really get in there. We just got started. So we got to do that a little bit more.
Oh, I'm good.
I don't want to take away from them on that one.
Hey,